Next up is California Democratic Party Vice Chair David Campos. Let's give him a warm welcome.
Good morning, California Democrats. I don't know how anyone follows Vice President Harris or Speaker Pelosi. It is my honor to be here. I'm a former Angelino, proud San Franciscan, and proud to be here before you today as the Vice Chair of the California Democratic Party. I want to just echo the words of Vice President Harris and say that I too stand in solidarity with the people of the Ukraine. I know that the world, and certainly California, we are watching. Before I say anything about the work of the party, I want to acknowledge the incredible work of Yvette Martinez and the staff of the California Democratic Party, who are largely responsible for so many of the great work that has been done in the last year, including beating the recall of Governor Newsom. I also want to acknowledge my fellow officers. The five of us, we may not always agree on everything, but I'm very proud that in the last year we have worked tirelessly to meet our commitment to have transparency, openness, and collaboration in the way this party is governed. I now want to talk about a very difficult and yet important issue, which is the issue of money in politics. And let me say that while I may not agree with every decision that is taken by the party, I think that we should acknowledge the fact that tremendous progress has been made. And I especially want to acknowledge the incredible work of our controller, Yvette, and the committee that worked to provide some very thoughtful recommendations. I believe that the California Democratic Party needs to continue this work. And what I would say is that as an officer, a top priority for me is to make sure that the party is successful, especially right now as we face the challenge of retaining control of the House of Representatives in the U.S. Senate. That requires money. To be an effective party when it comes to winning these tough races, we have to have money, which is why it's important, as Yvette said, that we put our money where our mouth is and that we participate in CADEM 2022. And when we talk about what money we cannot take, it is important that we also talk about what money we can take and especially identify new money that can be brought in to replace that money that is no longer on the table. But to be effective, we also need to have more than money. We need to motivate the base, the Democratic base that must come out for us to be victorious. And that Democratic base is composed of communities that are poor, communities of color that are struggling, communities that to be motivated to come out and vote for Democrats need to have a reason to do so. And I'll speak specifically about one of those communities that I'm a part of, the Latino community. A study recently showed that during the COVID pandemic, Latinos ages 22 to 54 were 8 times more likely to die from COVID than their white counterparts. For this community, for other communities, having access to affordable quality healthcare is a life and death situation, which is why they need to see progress on single payer in California. And for so many other communities that are issues where progress is not only needed, it's essential. It's essential. Whether it's climate change with a Green New Deal, a true living wage. And I must say that part of the reason that progress has not been made is because of the influence of some corporate money in the political process. So we have to make changes and have that conversation. But I'm also of the belief that if anyone can lead the way in striking the right balance between how we decide what money to take and how to continue to be true to our principles, that it is the California Party that can do that. We can do it, and we can agree to disagree and still work together. That's what makes us who we are. California can and will lead the way. Thank you very much for that. And let me now talk about workers and standing